What that really does for us from a shareholder's point of view and all stakeholders' point of view is it really aligns us very clearly on operational efficiencies and customer acquisition strategies and use of data and platforms and having a real singular point of way of how we operate our business.
Joining me today is David Kramer, President and CEO of National Storage Affiliates Trust. So David, you just announced a significant milestone, the internalization of the PRO structure. Can you provide more color on how this benefits NSA and its shareholders?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Absolutely. It's a milestone for us. You know, our company was founded with the PROs, and the PRO structure has been with us since day one. That stands for Participating Regional Operator. So what these were is established storage operators that have been in the business for a long time, and we came together as a collaborative group and built the NSA on having existing PROs in our structure. And we've had a great 10-year run. It's been fantastic. But as we look forward and think about strategy going forward and the way to best position our company in today's environment, we realize that the PRO structure itself was not as viable as it has been in historical times. And so we sat down as a group and we discussed, you know, what is it we can do to help our strategy going forward to put us in the best position for having good growth as a company, and then came to the conclusion now was the time to internalize all the remaining PROs. And so, you know, what that really does for us from a shareholder's point of view and all stakeholders' point of view is it really aligns us very clearly on operational efficiencies and customer acquisition strategies and use of data and platforms and having a real singular point of way of how we operate our business. And so, you know, internalizing these PROs, why it's sad, because I was a former PRO before I was in this position, it certainly puts us in a very good position for our future in the NSA.
So David, why is now the right time to internalize the PRO structure?
Yeah, given today's market conditions and cost of capital and rising interest rates, and you know, it's really put a lot of pressure on the self-storage sector on external growth. And the external growth was a key component to the PRO structure that's had, you know, helped the NSA be successful. The NSA over time has also built out platforms. We have a lot of things internally the NSA that we didn't have previously with, you know, when the NSA was formed. And so given, you know, the structure, given the platforms, given the external growth opportunities, we looked at the PRO structure, and it's just not as viable as it was historically. And so you looked at where we want to position ourselves for the next wave of external growth for the NSA, which we think is coming in the back half of this year. We thought now would be an appropriate time to really internalize the PROs, give ourselves a good clean path, a good clean alignment on looking at how we grow this company in the future.
And how would you describe the macro operating environment for NSA today, and how are you positioned to react?
It still remains challenging as a sector. There's still a muted housing market. There's lack of transition in the country, and you know, I think things will change over time. But from a self-storage sector itself, we're still a great sector. We still have great performance. But coming off of historical highs of COVID to where we've landed today with this muted housing market, the macro environment has caused us to be very nimble. We have to be very nimble on our pricing and how we're attracting new customers. Have to be very nimble in our marketing spend and how we go out and really market well so that we're in a good position to attract new customers. And really pricing-wise, our strategies have to be very sharp to make sure that we're achieving the level of rental activity we're looking for. You know, self-storage is a sector, still a great sector, operates well in very tough environments, but you know, right now I think we have to be, you know, as sharp and as nimble as we can be. I would add to that our existing customer base is really solid, and so while maybe a little more competitive to attract new customers, our existing customer base, you know, solid long-term expectations of stays, you know, paying their bills very well, very healthy. And so from a sector perspective and our portfolio perspective, we're very pleased with that piece of it.
So have you seen any changes in the demand drivers from your customers?
You know, I think recently it hasn't been really a change over the last 4 or 5 quarters. I mean, this, you know, muted housing market has led to muted transition in the country, and that muted transition, you know, we're a needs-based business. And when customers are moving and transitioning on a more regular basis, that increases demand for our product. And so while, you know, I look at it and say, you know, self-storage is still very fundamentally healthy, we're just off of normal activity because of that transition.